Hey guys, welcome back to Jack on Tracks. And in this episode, we're gonna mount the switches to the center module to control the crossover. So, what I initially thought was I was going to take this step bit and just drill all the way down into the deepest, setting on it, and set the switches in the back off a board. I want it to be recessed and pretty much flush with the outside. But as you can see, it's in there, but it's a little, it's a little hard to get in there and flick the switch. So, and really doesn't look that good. So what I did was I took a 1-inch forstner bit and just drilled a hole. And I can't with this. Now I actually like this better because it you get a little contrast in there, and you got plenty of room to flick the switch. All right, I got it mounted on this board because if I mounted it flush. If I mounted it through this board, it'd be sticking out like almost 1/8 of an inch, which I didn't want. I wanted as flush as possible. So transport, the switches can't get really screwed up. I mean, that's pretty flush. I could probably put a shim in there and maybe shim it down a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that. These will get lined up nice and centered. And that'll be that. All right, guys. So let's get that board down and let's get going. I'm going to repaint the inside like this, but I'm going to make sure it's all blacked out perfect like that. I'm going to leave this piece right back here, this color, because I like it. It makes it a little more visible to see. I actually contemplated drilling in on the side over here and possibly putting a red or green relay. LED, excuse me, red or green LED in the side. So when you flick this switch, if it goes red, it's going across. If it's green, you're good to go. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Contemplate it. Not sure if I'm going to do it. Probably not, because I got the lights that are going to be up on the next. I got the signals that are going to be up on the layout next to the switches. All right, let's get set up and start going. All right, guys, welcome back. All right, so I have these two marked out. They're 3 inches down from the middle. That's 13, and that's 19, I believe, inches, which lines up kind of where I want it to be. It's evenly on either side of this, so it's about what I wanted. What I put them, about 6 inches apart. Yeah, about 6 inches apart. All right. All right, now here's a trick that someone showed me. With the forstner bits, go backwards, and it cuts the top layer. So you get pretty much a clean entrance. That's kind of what I wanted. That's two. So basically, what I kind of need to do is I kind of need to get a little bit of sandpaper here. Just cleaned it up a little bit. Not too worried about that. Guess that's going to get, like I said, this is going to get touched up We're going to go in here and we're going to paint these insides. So this will get, that opening get touched up, this hole get touched up. The inside didn't blow out that bad. That's 2. Now we got to do the other side. Alright guys, so we got these set up. I'm marking for you so you can see them. Pretty much it. We're going to clean these holes up a little bit more, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to throw a little stain in there. Just to pretty it up. Alright guys. Alright guys, so we're back. We got these drilled out. I know they don't look that clean, but they're clean enough for what we need them to do. Alright, so it stays neat and clean longer. There's going to get 2 coats of poly on it. That's just the way I do the poly. It just seems it holds up a little better. This first coat just soaks in. It's going to raise all the grain on this, which I'm expecting it, and I hope it does. I give this a quick little sanding down afterwards. Like I said, that'll soak in. This will dry relatively quick. And once that's dry, I'll give it a little sanding, quick sand. That just gets any of the hairs that are up there, and then I put the last coat on. Hey guys, welcome back. So I went on the Fremo forum and I asked the question how guys wire up these switches. A lot of guys saying that they switched over to the Walters switch machines. I got like 15 or 20 of these things, so I'm not spending the extra money I get going over. I'll just pick up a rectifier and I'll power up these. So basically what I did was I got 2 switches controlling one, but there's actually going to be a second switch wired into here on the other side. So there's going to be these 2 switches controlling 2 of these. So basically, have this wired, crisscross like normal, and then this is feeding into, this is the power coming into this one, which is crisscrossing over, and yeah, so then. But if you put these in the middle, you turn it off, doesn't work. So that's just basically it. So we're gonna go from there. We're gonna start wiring up these switches. I, for some reason, didn't hit play, but I made these. These are gonna be the power. These are gonna power leads to these switches. So we're gonna get these in. The leads that come from that are gonna feed to this other one are gonna be longer because they're gonna be on the other side. So we're gonna figure that out when it's on the board. All right, let me get this out of the way. And that's those 2 switches. So those are ready to go in. Yeah, those are gonna be ready to go in, and then I gotta connect off these to the other side, and we'll figure that out when we get to those, because those are gonna be 24 inches away. All right. Since they're back, and apparently I screwed up. All right. So basically, we're gonna control. We're gonna give signals on this one that are gonna be controlled off of the switches, which you saw the red and green. And the polarity of the frog are going to be controlled off of those switches too. So basically what we got here is I got a bicolor LED and then a standard green LED. So let me just open these up a little bit. So basically, when everything's good, and you'll get 4 greens. All right. So when you flick the switch and you're going to cross over, the track that you're crossing over, the switch that you're crossing over on, and the switch that you're crossing over to are going to both be yellow. The switches that are opposing those will be red. And then when you put it back, everything will be green. Green, 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 green. All right. So, all right, guys, welcome back. So, previously you saw us make these blocks and solder up these connections. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line these up dead center in these openings. We're going to glue them in place, and I'm going to hit them with the staple gun just to make sure they're in there nice and tight, so we don't have to worry about it. All right, so basically what's going to happen is this is going to get wired in here. We're going to run the main power bus in here. This one's kind of long, but that's okay. This is going to pick up power from the power bus. We'll reuse these wires anyway. I got the power bus laying here on the table, and we're going to we'll go from there. All right, so let's get this other one. Same thing. That's basically that. So let me get the terminals that we're gonna put in here, because these are gonna get wired into into 2 terminals. All right, be right back. Alright guys, so we figured out the lengths we need for these. I mounted the bridge rectifier in here. These are the DC lines, and this twisted up one is the AC line. Alright, so let's just get this over here for now. Alright. The black, the red. Right now it's just held in with some double-sided tape, but we're going to secure that down with a screw momentarily. I had those screws around here somewhere, and I'm having a little trouble finding them. So, I could just do that, but I have so much wire hanging there, I don't want that. I may come back in here later and tin these ends. So that's basically that. So now this can get hooked up to AC and converted over to DC through the bridge rectifier. These switches are gonna give me what I need out of that, and yeah. So then what's gonna happen is these 2 center posts here are gonna drop down and connect over to this side over here, and then that will control the center post over here, which will control these. We're doing the frog power off of these. The frog power is coming off of these, and the signal switch is going to come off of these. So we're going to do a little more wiring. This episode, we're just going to get these. We're going to get the Tortoise's switches mounted and working, and then we'll figure out the frogs later when I run the main power bus in. So yeah, we'll be right back. Just gonna get the screws to get that in, and then we'll start mounting these up. All right, guys. Hey guys, so welcome back. Here we are. I have it actually mounted in between the 2 other modules. It just made more sense. I just was too much of a pain to move around over there. So I can rotate this up, and as you can see here, I stuck 2 pieces of 4,000 inch square styrene in there. That's holding that as centered as it's going to be. Probably could have got away with 3,000s, but I don't have it. So we get that in there. That's the only problem you're gonna have. I can't really lean on it, but we're gonna work with this. A little hokey, but it's working. I was looking for a different type of screw to use. For some reason, the Home Depot by me actually had really no selection of hardware. I don't know why, but it didn't. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this over really quick, and I'm gonna put the styrene in between these two. You're gonna need, I wanna get these centered up if possible. I want to, I can't, a little foresight there, I didn't do that, but it is what it is. Gotta work what we gotta work with, right? So, let me flip that over and get that centered, and then we'll get back to it. There, right there. Well, it might be a little tight. That's what we're gonna do. We'll double up that middle one. All right, so we have the situation figured out. That's what we're gonna go with. So, picked up a new Milwaukee screwdriver. I like it. These are number 6 hex heads. They didn't have any pan heads, so I just went with these hex heads. It is what it is. One quick second. I just need to look at these and get these started. All right, so that's that. So then, as we're gonna come in here, we're gonna figure these out. This bad boy's gonna go over to here. Bad boy's gonna come over to here. One of those wires is gonna control it. So we're good. All right, let's move over to this side, over here. Flip it over, and we'll get those pieces of styrene in there. All right, so they're in. They're screwed in. I can get a power supply over here, and we can run them back and forth. And then I gotta figure out how to make sure that these are all identical, because this one and this one need to be matching. So when the power goes, they go. All right. Give me a couple of seconds. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so we're back. And this is where it gets interesting. I shorten these up. I've never wired these before. So I'm looking at this logically. I'm going to wire these terminals right here are the outputs over here. So since I'm going to have signals, I'm going to use these outer 3 for that. Right now, everything is set for through traffic. So that's what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to get these greens wired on, soldered on, and go from there. I got my meter here. All right. So this is where it gets interesting. All right, so I'm going to wire in the colors here, and they're going to be different on each one, so that's going to be interesting. This is in contact with the black wire. This was in contact with the red wire. Trust me, I think. I'm pretty sure. This one's going through. So it needs the red wire. That's the frogs, hopefully powered up correctly. Nope. All right, we're gonna go do this side. All right, Tom, I'm gonna do that side off camera because it's the same as this. All right, so we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we got the other switches wired in, and they're in place over there. You saw how I did it over here. I just made the 2 of the wires that come across longer. They come all the way across. We still have to wire in the switches, so the switch motors. I want this tucked underneath here, nice and neat. We're coming here, and we're going to neaten this up at a later date. Because I just got to get everything. I got to find my little staple gun. All these ends that are on here, they're all soldered, so I should not have any issues with these things. All right, so that's that. We're coming here, we're gonna neaten these up, and yeah. So what I have to figure out now is I have to figure out the polarity on these, because these 2 are throwing in opposite directions, or they're throwing in the same direction. I don't even know. I have to figure that out. So yeah, we have the frogs wired in. When I run the main bus in here, they'll get these will get tied into the main bus, and when the gets thrown, it'll power the frogs. The signals, those are going to come a little bit later. Hopefully before I get surgery, I'll get that done. Because then once that's done, then all I got is scenery on this. I got the power bus, and then the scenery. It's a lot, but we're moving right along. All right, guys, let me figure all this out. What I got here, what I need, what I don't need, and then I'll be back. All right, guys. So what we figured out is that on this side, this is the positive, this is the negative. On this side, this is the positive, this is the negative. This is the positive and this is the negative. It's converse. All right, so what I'm going to do is, you saw me doing it before. Something happened with the sound. So we're doing it again. All right, so now here's my wire. And what I'm going to do is I got this tinned up and I'm just going to rock and roll. I'd rather have too much than too little on this because I can always come back to shorten it. And then we'll do the same with this black. Alright, I've been working at this for probably about 3.5 hours now. So I'm going to take a little break and get a little beverage and just relax for a little bit. And then I'll come back here, we'll get this switch wired in, and then I'll show you how this rectifier works with the switches. Alright guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, so here we are back at it again. Took a little break. Ooh, I feel much better. Ate a little dinner. Everything's right with the world. All right, this mess over here is, we're going to figure this out. This mess over here is all the power. Same one on this side. We're going to neaten this up. I have a staple gun. We're going to staple these in. Just get this all nice and clean. These greens are all in there. And these wires are done. Of course, well, not on camera, because it was just a little bit easier for me to do. I soldered on ends. All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna put these in. Doesn't really matter what side. Because it's gonna. As soon as you flick one switch, everything's going to change. So basically, this double pole, double throw is set up. Okay. Power in, this double pole, double throw. Comes out the output side. Goes into the input sides on this, and then the output goes to the switches. Basically, it's the same on this one too. Power it up, power it up. Okay, let me go get my junctions, and we're gonna take a look at it. All right, guys. I'm using these terminals. I know the black ones with the screws, a lot of people use those. I just happen to have these. They do the same thing. And I've used them before on my hot tracks and my end tracks modules, so should be fine. For some reason, if I have to change them, not a big deal to change them. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do each rail by itself. I think that it's a wiser choice, so that's what we're going to do. So what I'm using to hold these down are number 4s. These are what are meant to use these. Meant to be using these. Number 6s are way too big. These are perfect right in there. So you just take these and you come in here and give a cut. Boom. You have 2 terminal. Clean it up. Look at that. You have 4 terminal. Or 3 terminal. Or 1 terminal, whichever you need. Alright, so I put a little solder on there just to make the end a little tougher. And we just screwed it down. I gotta look to see which way Fremo guys like to do it. I see some groups, they just like to put more connections in and have a block here and a block at the end. I personally like the fewest connections as possible. So hey guys, welcome back, and here we go. We got this flipped over right side up in between again. If you remember, when I wired these up, I wired this switch directly across that switch and this switch directly across that switch. That was a mistake. It was a simple fix. I just unscrewed the two wires that went to the center poles on the two switches and just crisscrossed across the top. You'll see the wiring coming up in another video when I wire up the module. And I got this one up working, and all right, so here we go. This switch, I'm gonna have a little thing over here. It's just gonna draw it out. So this switch is working this one and this one. Works great. All right. Directly across from here is the switch again that controls this one and this one. This one over here controls this one and that one. And on the other side, on an angle, is that one. All right. So we got all that working. All right, so the wiring is wired in right now. Not 100% done. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to lay these ties and get this whole module done. I'm having surgery July 10th, which is going to put me out for a long time. So we're going to wind up switching gears, leaving these modules and going to doing structures, and some more decoder installs, because basically that's all I'm gonna be able to do. Yeah. So yeah, let me just show you how everything's working. Got power. Frogs are all correct. I think that was me. Yeah, that's me. All right. So I didn't have these thrown out. When the signals go in, they'll keep me from doing that. All right. All the frogs are powered. The switches are working correctly. Everything's working good. All right, guys. So that was that. You saw everything was working, and so we're gonna close out this video. All right, guys. So you saw everything was working. The switches are wired in. This is the first time I ever installed Tortoise switches, and it's the first time I ever did a Tortoise switch with anything. So going with two switches working these is pretty good for me. Like I said, everything is wired in. Next on this module is going to be the we're gonna finish all doing in the wiring for the main bus is going to get wired in, and that'll be the main bus and the auxiliary bus will get wired into this, so this module can get taken and put away. And we're going to do the signals. We'll get the signals done on this thing. I might come in here and a project I come in here really quick, and we're going to finish this up, and we're going to come in and shoot everything with the rail brown, and have the rails done, and then we'll be ready to come in here when I recovered from surgery, and we can start doing the scenery on this whole thing. While I'm recovering, I'm probably going to be doing some structures and probably some decoder installations. Really, I don't know yet. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do. So, guys, I appreciate you guys watching me, putting up with my nonsense. All the new subscribers, hi! Thanks for subscribing. I think I'm like just below 500, which is 450, which is awesome. I'd like to get to 500 before I go under the knife, but we don't know. That's my goal: 500 before I get cut. All right, listen, come on. So that's basically it. Let's enjoy this thing one more time. Creeps through there, so you know the wiring is good. Thanks for watching, guys, and as always, I'll catch you later.